Bro, let me ask you
Hmm.
this. You've both of us have been through quite a few weddings,
Yeah.
um, some for ourselves.
Hmm.
What are three of the most important things people should think about when having a wedding and inviting guests
Okay.
that you've realized?
Okay.
That you've realized.
Okay. So,
And it's not knocking anybody. It's just things that you're like, these are things that I really enjoyed, or however you want to phrase it. Three things people should think about.
um, let's see. So I heard this quote and I thought it was brilliant. Okay. So uh, I think it was a podcast or a reel or whatever, right? And they're talking about how to know who to invite to your wedding, right? Because they're trying to decide like size of the wedding, intimate, blah blah blah, whatever. So they have these large, super large, weddings with over 200 people, and I'm like, first of all, I don't even know 100 people's names, but he said a good barometer of how to know who to invite to your wedding would be if you would buy them dinner or not. And I was like,
Hmm.
interesting. I was like, if you wouldn't buy them dinner, they shouldn't come to your wedding. I was like, interesting measure of who should be there, who should not. Um, some of the weddings that I've been to more recently, I think the number right around, I think 50 people. Don't First of all, 50 people is a lot of people. That's a lot of people in one space,
Yeah.
right? That's a lot of people in one space, and I would say if they're important enough for you to host them at your house, right?
Hmm.
Or to, like, as you know, as I said before, to buy dinner or host at your house, or um, that you would share intimate details or talk to them about life or that kind of thing, then yeah, they should be there. But I think there's a lot of, even some of the ones that I question before, I'm like, how did this person get in? Or like, what's the nature? You know what I mean? Like, what's the nature of a relationship? Is this like a family thing? Or is this like a close friend thing? But then obviously too, sometimes, life dictates, um, people move away, like when you left me. Um, you know,
You left me first, bro. How's the volume on that?
yeah,
Good?
it's good. Um,
All right, perfect.
like when you left me, obviously that changes things a little bit. Obviously
Mhm.
when it's time of, obviously you'll uh be a part of my special day, as I was for you. So
Absolutely.
there are some things that transcend distance, and I think especially for men, um, our relationship doesn't necessarily have to be uh, so detailed filled. As the men are notorious
Yeah,
for not asking for
for sure.
details. Like you could be friends with a guy and
Correct.
not and never know his last name for 5 years. You're like, I don't know his last name. I don't know. But I just know we
Yeah.
share similar interests. We share, that kind of stuff. So that's an interesting question, though. What would you say?
Well, hold on. That was 1.
Mhm.
The people who come to your wedding, that's 1.
Okay.
What was That's 3, so 2 more.
What was it? Remind me again.
What are 3 things that you should think about
Oh,
when
the third thing you should think about.
planning a
Planning a
wedding
wedding.
for your guests? This is for your guests.
Okay.
I agree with you, the people you
The people you
invite.
invite, 100%. Um, the location would be one, right? The location, if it's destination or not.
Mm, okay.
Um,
Well, what
well,
do you mean by
okay.
that?
So here's what I mean by that. Um, when to consider, but I think it also folds into the first one, right?
Yeah,
Destination, right? Where is it going to be, right?
sure. Yeah.
Is it going to be overly convenient for majority of the people? Not that you should do it with that in mind, right? I don't
Yeah.
think that should I don't think that should dictate whether, if it's your, first of all, it's your day. You have it where you want
Mhm.
and whatever,
Mhm.
right? But when you're doing that, um, I would consider, right? So if it's like, hey, I really want if it's like, hey, I really want my parents to be there, or grandparents to be there, but they're elderly and they don't travel well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they can't, walk up steps or walk up hills or do whatever. Like, what kind of accommodations am I going to have to make sure that they can be involved in it? Um,
Yeah.
I think another one too. Kids or no kids is a big one.
That's a new one.
That's
Yep.
I've seen that
Or
recently.
yeah.
Kids or no kids.
Yep.
Um,
Mhm.
I just recently was in one where actually the only 2 kids that were there were their kids, so it's
Yeah.
so it wasn't like a big heavy. kid kid thing, but the kids were there and they were involved in the wedding, so but it was just them two. So um and everybody else who could have who could have watched them was at the wedding, so they got to be there anyway,
Yeah, for sure.
and I guess like I said, the location, and then see, I guess the third thing is how much you're going to spend, but I guess that depends on what if you're sticking to traditional values or whatnot, right? So I guess what's the
Mhm.
traditional value supposed to be, like the father of the bride is supposed to pay? Am I understanding that right?
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
that's what I've always heard or whatever.
So yeah,
That's like the
yeah,
old
yeah,
school thing. But I think those
yeah.
those are probably the most.
Oh, so you're saying, think about finances?
Yeah, is this fiscally responsible, right? Like, why would you
Mm,
start off depending on who's paying for it, right? And if it's something that if you and your spouse are putting it on together, paying for it yourself, like, do we really want to
yeah.
go 20, 30, 40, 50 grand in debt to to commemorate our own day, to accommodate other people on our day?
First things first, 40, 50, that ain't a wedding, bro. That's a baby shower nowadays. You're
Hmm.
looking at 100 grand
I'm
minimum.
not looking at 100 grand. I ain't happening.
Anyway, well, let me say this. I don't think there's anything wrong. How's the audio? Is it
Yeah, yeah,
okay?
you're good.
I got a new mic, bro. I got a new mic, new board. I got
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
you're
new
good. You're
shit.
good now. You're
So
good now. I got you.
now it's all fucked up. But there's nothing wrong with getting married at like a courthouse or something like
No,
that, and then having a party.
no.
Or I mean, fuck, I even was talking to one dude, got married at the courthouse, and then he rented out like they like to go clubbing, whatever.
Okay,
They rented out like a VIP
okay.
section, and they just had a hell of a time for
Yeah,
like 10 grand, whatever the fuck it was. Which, bro,
yeah.
imagine.
10 grand in a
Now
club
you
is
probably wouldn't wanna do that on a random Saturday,
yeah,
dropping 10 grand at a club, but if it's like your
yeah. A big
wedding
yeah.
celebration and you're in a VIP I mean, I was like, "Bro,
That's
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 not a bad
it's not a bad
idea.
idea. It did, you know.
Not a bad idea."
I Since we're on the topic of weddings, I always wonder. And this is my own personal thing. It's like what I don't. How can I put this? Um, I've always thought my own personal thing, right, is that
Mhm.
the wedding, the wedding part is the public part, right? I was like, I don't
Yes.
think that should be the. I don't look at it as a goal or like a milestone per se, right? Um, because when you do that, what's next? What's after that? What's the big milestone? Like having children? What if you don't want to have children? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, is this just a notch on the thing, or is it just like I always wanted to motivation wise, right? I've always said this
Mm,
when it's time for me to make that leap. I don't want it to be because this is the next step. This is the next thing to do, right? I don't want to have my wife be kind of like a checkbox thing. I'd rather, hey,
mm,
the way I feel about you makes me want to do this, not
yeah.
not the inverse of that. If that makes sense.
Yep,
So I've
yep.
always kind of looked at it. I've always kind of looked at it outside looking in on some of these extravagant weddings that you see, or the ones that I don't know, the ones that I don't know the people. I'm always like
Mhm.
looking at uh, the performativeness of some of these weddings, like these popular ones that go viral or whatever, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
what's
yeah.
the motivation here? Because I guess because the way that I look at time and the way I value time, right? Um,
Mhm,
if you're together with somebody, right, and I think obviously too, my aunt and uncle have been married. They've been together longer than I've been alive. They were high school sweethearts, right? So
mhm.
if they have been together the whole time, let's say they never got married, right, or they got married 5 years ago, 10 years ago, does the 5 years count for more or way more than the other 25 or 30? Or is this all
No, I hear
you know
what you're
what I'm
saying.
saying? So it's like I've always I guess I just have, like, a different view on, the marriage thing and kinda, like, what it means. So for me, I think I'm probably looking at answering these questions in a different light, uh, than I guess, like, the normal stuff.
Yes. Um, I won't go down that road. Yeah, it might be another topic for another day because I don't disagree with
Yeah.
you, but I do think there is a weight or, I don't know the word I'm trying to use, severity?
Mhm.
I don't know, that's not right. I don't know what it is.
Mhm.
There's a weight or something like that. It comes over you when you stand in front of your close friends and
Yeah.
family and say
Mhm.
vows that are mean shit.
Mhm. Now, you speaking of
It's
vows,
different, bro,
speaking
than y'all just dating and be like, "Yeah, we've been living
yeah.
together for 20 years." And yeah, of course, that's
Well, uh,
it's not the same, bro. I'm not saying you have to,
yeah.
and I know
Yeah.
shit works out, and I get all that, but it changes.
Um,
But hold on, let me give you my 3.
yeah,
Hold on,
yeah,
hold on. I'll give you my 3.
yeah.
So, back to the
Mhm.
beginning. If you're gonna have a wedding, in the traditional sense with, all the people and all the stuff and all the
Mhm.
steps, I think you have to really think through I don't disagree with your budget thing. You gotta think through that
Mhm.
because don't try to make it something it's not. If you got a $10,000 budget, don't try to make a $100,000 wedding because nothing's gonna come out good. So what I would say is, for me
Mhm.
as the
Yeah.
guest, the I'm gonna phrase it in accommodation, meaning the proximity for where everyone
Mhm.
is. Because I've been to weddings where it's not centrally located and you're driving a half hour, 45 minutes to all these
Mm.
different
Yeah.
things all over the
Yeah.
place. It's very and then that's the only time you're seeing people from the wedding. It's just
Mm.
I
I
don't
get what
know.
you're saying. Yeah, yeah. Logistics of it. Yeah.
Logistics and how that all
Yeah.
works. Some of the ones that I've enjoyed going to are ones where everybody was like on the same property
Mhm.
or in close proximity.
Yeah.
And then the next 2 are really I don't know if they're the same or not, but food
Mm.
and entertainment.
Mm. See, that was gonna be my fourth thing, was gonna be
If
the
that
entertainment, yeah.
if you can lock those 3 things
Yeah.
down, the ceremony will be fine because again, if you've kept in mind who's coming,
Yeah.
right? They're all everybody wants to celebrate
Yeah.
you and see you succeed. So they'll put up with the weather, they'll put up with the
Mhm.
heat, they'll put up with the change, they'll put up with, "Hey, we're gonna do it outdoors, but it's
Yep.
rainy, we're gonna go indoors."
Hiccups in the
If you have the
ceremony,
right
yep.
people around you, people are like, "Yo, whatever, we'll make this
Yeah.
work. We'll bob and weave." I think I'm gonna add a
Uh-huh.
subcategory after our recent conversation on make sure you pick the officiant.
Oh god. Yeah,
I
yeah,
j
yeah,
I
yeah,
I that was never in my list until conversation with you.
yeah.
I didn't realize how much of
Yeah.
a, distraction that could be
Yeah.
if you don't have
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
we'll just phrase it
Yeah.
that so that's number 3, subsection 1 or whatever. Make sure your officiant is somebody you know or trust.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro. But yeah, but tell me I'm wrong, bro. As long
No.
as you have good food,
Yeah.
good entertainment, and again, when I say accommodations, it's like I've seen some wild shit. I've seen resorts.
Mhm.
I've seen big houses. I've seen cabins in the woods. I've even seen some stuff where they'll do like they'll rent land and then have like
Mm.
yurts or what am I? The big tents. I don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
those are
yeah.
called. But me, I would love it. I think there's people you and I both know
Mhm.
that be like, I'm not doing that. So this ties into
Yeah.
your initial thing of like, who is coming to this
Mhm.
thing, right? So I agree with
Yeah.
that. But I think if you lock those 3 things down,
You're gonna have a good time for
it'll be
sure.
a
Yeah,
success no matter
you'll
what.
definitely have a good time, right? You lock those 3 things down, you'll
Yeah.
definitely have a good time. I think you should have a g
People get locked up about the
yeah,
flowers
look
and
at
the
some
papers
first of
and
all things that
all this
no one's gonna remember,
$50,000 wedding dress. I'm like, bro,
no one's
what?
gonna remember or give a
I
fuck
mean, if you
about.
got it, great. If you got it, great.
Yeah, I can't I couldn't tell you. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to tell you, like, it's like, "Oh, man, you look wonderful," like, for the bride, right? It's like, "Oh, man, you look lovely in your dress." My next question is not gonna be, "Who made it?" "How much was that?" Like,
No.
doesn't matter. Not not to me as someone who's going,
Mm-mm.
right? Um
You know, honestly, I saw something. I think it was I don't know YouTube, whatever, and it was kind of in the same vein of this conversation we're having. And I'm not knocking it if you got it and you can do the big designers. I'm sure they're
Mhm,
phenomenal, whatever. But there was a couple ladies. They were talking about how they were able to basically they bought a used wedding
mhm.
dress, but had them tailor fit it to them. So it was almost like a custom fitted
Yeah,
dress for
yeah,
them, right? But it was, a couple grand.
yeah. What?
and they're like, "Does anybody no one that's coming to my wedding is gonna look down on me or think less of
No,
me because of" you see what I'm saying?
and no one's gonna know if you don't fucking tell them.
Well, that's also true.
No one's gonna know. No
Yeah,
one's gonna know. You could say
yeah.
it's 100 grand. Nobody would be able to tell you yay or nay. Who cares?
Fair enough, bro.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, I don't know. I think this is a good tie into one of our topics,
Hold
the
on.
price of a good
Hold on.
suit.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
But
I gotta ask you real
go
quick
ahead,
before we
go
jump to the next one. I gotta ask you.
go
You
ahead.
mentioned before. I said what because I do agree with you, and I can tell because some of the weddings that I've been to where the couple decides to read their vows out loud, and some where they
Ah,
do private vows, right? They've already
yeah.
done their vows, privately. I think
Mhm,
and so and some of the more recent ones, I was listening to it, and I was getting emotional because I was like, damn, that's those are beautiful words, those are beautiful sentiments. Um, and I guess I'm a hopeful romantic, so I kind of like some of that shit sometimes, right?
mhm.
And then you think about, damn, what am I gonna say in that moment? All right, but my
Yeah,
question is, what you mentioned it being kind of like a weight, how when you're doing it, in front of your friends and family, and as in an episode of Family Guy, in front of God and all your toys, right?
mhm,
What
mhm.
changes after marriage? What makes it so heavy? Because I've always put it this way. Let me preface the question. I've always looked at
Yeah,
it as nothing should change about your relationship after marriage. It should already be. You should already be.
mhm.
The relationship should already obviously be in a position where you're doing this anyway. This is the highest form that you can do it publicly, right? The
Yeah.
highest public statement that you can make, right? I was
Mhm,
like, but the
mhm.
relationship should already be to that point where you're wanting to do that. Not this shouldn't be. I guess the stepping stone to make it something more, if that makes sense.
I don't disagree with
Yeah,
you. And side thing, people who ask people to marry them and they get told no, I don't understand what's
I'm out.
happening. You I don't necessarily think she should know it's coming
Mhm.
in that sense, but you as the man should know she's gonna say
You should have an
yes.
idea how this is gonna go. All right.
I unless something has gone completely out of
Yeah.
control. Anyway,
Mhm.
push that aside. So to your point, yeah, the relationship should be pretty rock solid if
Yeah.
you're talking like, "We're gonna get
Yeah.
married and this is legit," this is
Yeah,
what we're
we're
gonna do.
doing this, so we should be locked
I
in.
don't know exactly how to describe the weight. It's just I don't know, it's just something it feels different when you're done, when everyone goes
Mhm.
home and it's all over
Mhm.
and you're there with your wife. It it's like we just did this in front of like there's no secret almost. Like this is everybody who's important to me in my
Mhm.
life saw me and you profess our love to each other
Mhm.
and promise each other to be there for each other. I don't know if that helps,
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
if that makes
It
sense. So then it's
yeah.
like, well, let me say this too. Your conversations will change
Mhm.
because one, it's like I don't know. And listen, I'm talking from my own perspective here, but when you're dating, even in long term, I don't know what that means for people.
Mhm.
That long term is a year, 3 years, 10 years, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck long term means
Yeah.
to you. Typically, you're not talking about life insurance and long-term
Mhm.
care and joint bank accounts
Mhm.
and financial planning and having children and where you want to move. Maybe I'm wrong.
Mhm.
I don't know. But I've never known anyone who was dating to have joint bank accounts and have life insurance for each other and to have a financial planner helping them
Mhm.
pursue their dreams.
Mhm. Okay.
I've never known anyone. If I'm wrong, please,
Okay. Yeah.
correct me or say,
Yeah.
"Yeah, yeah, we've been together
Yeah.
30 years. We're not married and we do all those
Yeah.
things." Great.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. It just shifts the way that your mind thinks
Mhm.
more long term than day to day, I think.
Okay.
For
So
me.
yeah, yeah. So you think that some of those conversations should come after the marriage thing or before?
No, they should
Come
definitely
before.
come
Okay.
before 'cause, I'll also speak from
Mhm.
experience. They're not comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's like, in the middle of it, you're like, "Ah, we really should have talked about this." But once again, it was one of those things, didn't think about
Yeah.
it till after.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thought in the head.
Mhm.
Now it is.
Uh, yeah.
So
So
yes,
yeah,
100% you should talk about
yeah.
all
So
that
the, so
shit.
I guess what I'm here to say is
100.
the talks, yes, before, but the action of said things or enacting the plan
Yeah,
comes after.
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, listen, to each their own. I do believe in the sanctity and the value of
Yeah.
marriage. I do. I also, you know this
Mhm.
because we have absolutely talked about
Mhm.
it. Understand why men do not want to get
Oof.
married. I 100% understand.
Mhm.
Uh, Speaking from experience
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I don't know how to change that perspective other than to say that it's not that it's not scary,
Mhm.
bro. It still is, but when you find somebody who you feel that way about and you trust them implicitly
Mhm.
and explicitly and all the other
Yeah.
implicitlies, um, it's a comforting feeling. And I think for men,
Mhm.
or at least myself,
Mhm.
finding comfort and safety
Yeah.
is very important to me, and it's rare. Like, how many people do you trust? Whole like,
Yeah.
not just with your
Yeah.
life, but with your
Yeah.
money, with your
With
dreams,
the
with your
yeah.
insecurities.
Yeah. To be
More than 5?
no, it's not more than 5. I'll tell you that. It ain't more
No,
than it ain't,
bro,
it ain't,
I don't
it
think
ain't
so.
more than 5. It ain't more than 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, you could
Yeah.
sleep with your back to the door and your money clip on the
Yeah.
table,
I know.
and that person's in the room with you, and you like, "I will be fine."
Mhm.
Ah, bro, that's a short group for
That's a
me,
yeah,
bro.
that's a that's a
That's a small group.
that's a
Yeah,
yeah, that's a real tight window. That might be like period size. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like, here's the key to the safe with all my
Mhm.
valuables in
Yeah,
it. I want you to have it just in case something happens to me. Ooh.
yeah. Well, as you were going through the list, to me, see, it's
Yeah.
not even the valuables, right? It's the other stuff that's
Oh,
that
well,
is
no,
value.
bro,
Like
the valuables are
the
easy.
very
The
the
insecurities and the
insecurities.
weaknesses are rough, bro.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
like that's the one I was like, ooh, the insecurities. Like, yeah, this person knows me. Sometimes, maybe I wouldn't say it necessarily better or worse, but they know me in a way that maybe I don't understand. I don't know myself, right? They have a different viewpoint of me,
Yeah.
right? Um, that's
And can they speak to it?
exactly right. Uh,
Like, "BJ, you're doing this again."
again, and I noticed
And
this.
you're like, "Oh."
Like, oof. In the end,
Yeah, and instead of just being like, "Bitch, you don't know what you're talking about," you actually
listen to
listen. Be
yeah.
like, "I'm
I
sorry.
va- yeah.
Let me tighten up."
Like I value what you're saying. I value your opinion. I value
Yeah.
because I know it's not coming from a place of judgment. It's coming from a
No,
place of whatever. That see, well, I'll speak about it. As far see,
that's hard,
that's the
bro.
thing that I guess is the vulnerable part, the scary part for me when it comes to the commitment. It's not the commitment. Right. I've been, in some different
Mhm.
relationships in the past, whatever. And it's like, oh, you're afraid of commitment. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, everything about me, everything I've done in my life has been long term and committal. I was like, I've been at the
Mhm.
same job for 15 years. I've been on
Yep.
every team I've been on has been long term. Um, everything I do is consistent. Everything about what I'm doing that builds me is something that is developed over time and is developed through commitment to a process, commitment to a train of thought, commitment to a way of life, commitment to um, perseverance. Right? These things take that. So it's not the commitment part. I think it is the vulnerability that comes with. Um, and like I said before, it's not even necessarily the stuff because I don't put a huge weight on material things or things of that nature, right? But like I said, it's
Yeah.
can this person do I trust this person with my dreams? That's a big one, right? Um
Yeah,
yeah,
bro.
insecurities is a huge one. Um
Mhm.
and I guess I look at it the same and I value it because the way that I view loving someone and valuing someone is I guess this is a litmus test for me, right? And I think I said this shit on the show before, right? It's like I told this girl once, I was like, listen, I love you enough to get out of your way. Or I
Yep.
love you enough to give you what you want, even if it's at a detriment to myself. Right?
Mhm.
It's like, if your spouse comes up, tomorrow and says, hey, I want to I don't know, go backpacking I don't want to live this life anymore. I want to go backpacking for the next 2 years. What's that conversation like? Can you have that conversation? Do you feel comfortable enough to even have these conversations? Are you comfortable enough and vulnerable enough to be yourself, your actual self? I think it's a huge thing.
Yeah, and again, for me, things that I value, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. It's like, we've been doing this thing for 5 years, whatever, and you're like, "Hey, I wanna go I need some me time. I'm gonna go to Europe for 6 months to whatever." I'm not gonna fight with you.
No.
I'm not. Now, I may have probably in my
Hmm.
20s. It doesn't mean that it's not gonna hurt,
Yeah.
right? It hurts because I know what you're really saying. Don't say that shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's not what we're talking
Hmm.
about. You wanna leave.
Yeah.
It's not for you. Um, I find myself I've tried to tell my kids this stuff as well. It's like it's a very adult way to think. It's not easy to articulate, but just because 2 adults love each other and then decide to separate or
Hmm.
not be with each other, doesn't mean one of them is wrong
No.
or a bad person.
Mm-mm.
They've changed.
Yeah.
But I think that is a very mature, uh, intellectual way to think because that's not usually how it goes. And you wanna be right,
Yeah.
and you wanna be like, "No, I was right, she was a bitch,"
Yeah. But
or vice versa, right? But it doesn't have to be that way.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Not at all.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. Yeah, somebody that will, you trust with your dreams and your weaknesses, bro. Think about that shit.
Mm.
And again, I'm gonna make a general statement, I'm gonna get shredded for it. I don't think men do this as much as women.
Mhm.
Women do this more than men, in my
Mhm.
opinion. They will take something that you told them in confidence 5 years ago,
Mm.
and when they feel like they need to hurt you a little bit,
Mhm.
they're gonna bring it up.
Mhm. I'll never trust you again.
I don't think there's anything you can do to ever change that, but you just need to be prepared for
I'll never
it.
trust you again. I'll never trust you again, I'll
Oh,
never trust you
bro.
again, and
Yeah.
I will always
You're gonna bring that jet just to
I
hurt
will
me, bro.
always look at you
Yeah,
sideways, and I'll be like, at that point,
yeah.
see, something like that happens, I'll be like,
Am I wrong, though?
"No."
Do you agree with that I don't think men
I
do
don't
that.
think men
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think
men don't do
so.
that. Men don't do that
No,
on a
just punch you in the
yeah,
face.
on a general thing, no, right? But I
Yeah.
think that is, one of the ultimate forms of betrayal, right? Is
Oh,
is
bro.
is is using something that's supposed to be in confidence, right? Um,
Private,
it's
yeah.
private, and I'm big on that. It's like I'm
Mhm,
big on that, right? I'm like, listen, if you, especially, I mean, obviously you and I, right? But I extend that to other people as well, right? It's like, listen,
mhm,
if somebody told me something, they said it to me, I tend I just automatically assume that they meant for me to know it,
mhm,
and it's not for me to necessarily tell anybody else. Because if they wanted to tell somebody else, they
mhm.
would have brought them in on the conversation, would have had this thing in a circle,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Because
If they wanted you to know, you'd
they'd
already
already
know
know it, right?
it.
Um,
Yeah,
so I'm like I'm big on just like I don't gossip about things that don't involve me. They're like,
yeah.
oh, did you know? I was like, oh yeah, I knew that. You didn't say anything. No, I didn't. Well, why not? Because it
Mhm,
wasn't my information to fucking tell. I was like, they told it to me. I was like, because in the same token, two-way street. I wouldn't want to have things I said in confidence or out of anger or whatever. And again, this is why I say, they say you got to be careful what where you vent to because vents lead to other rooms, right? But I just that's a big thing for me. I don't. It doesn't involve me. I don't like to talk about it, and I don't like to speculate on people and what they're thinking and what they're right or wrong. I'm like, listen, here's the situation. This is my involvement and nothing else. I can't speak to the rest of it. If you want to get something from them, then ask it. But also, I think just men are like that, right? It's like,
yeah.
I think we inherently value things differently and look at things differently than women do, just off of just like biology. We just inherently like. I don't need to. You and I have the same train of thought on that. We've never really like sat down and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this specifically situation that we kind of just know that what's the thing?"
I think the closest thing we do to that is like, "Hey, man, let me run this by you. Am I
But
fucked
yeah,
up?"
well, yeah.
Because maybe I
Maybe I
am.
am.
I
Maybe
don't
I
know.
am. Yeah.
Maybe. Actually, I'm not gonna bring it up, the topic,
Mhm.
but I just did that with you last
Yep.
week.
Mhm.
I said, "Hey, this came up.
Mhm.
I feel some type of
Mhm.
way. Am I fucked up?" And you're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, let that go. That's
Yeah.
dumb."
Yeah.
And to hey,
Mhm.
my credit, I
Mhm.
guess, I don't know. I did
Uh-huh.
because it's like this is how I do something, but just because my partner doesn't do it that
Mhm.
way doesn't mean they're wrong. And I'm trying to get better. I want, bro, you know, I want the,
I know. That's why
I want,
that's why I say, like, hey,
I'm coming in.
it's not worth it. It's not worth it. That'll be a pointless, meaningless, uh,
Yeah, you're like, bro, that's
that
dumb.
no. I was like, that is no, that is lower than minimal. That's not even worth a second thought. No.
Eh, but there you go. That's about where
Yeah.
we get to that type of, what do you think about this or
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
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 Boom, buddy. Price of a good suit. I do want to talk about
Ooh.
it. And I want your perspective first because I have my thoughts.
Mm. Price of a good suit. Um,
What does it mean, though? What does a good suit mean to you?
see, I don't necessarily think a good suit means expensive, right? I
No,
don't I
I don't
don't
need
think
it.
that.
All right, we're agree on
So I
that.
don't think
Continue.
a good suit has to necessarily be expensive, right? Um,
Yep.
I think sometimes the price will be determined by, like, what you're using. But I think a good suit has to be, first of all, has to fit and be comfortable.
Oh, bro. All right, we're on the same page. Keep going.
Has to fit,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
has to be comfortable, has to be functional, right? If it's if it's a $10,000 fucking suit and
You don't have to roll
yeah,
it in
so
so it's tight to
you
your
know what I
body.
mean, and the material's tight, the material's stiff, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
doesn't feel like it doesn't, like, to me
Yeah,
that's not a good suit. Um,
yeah.
the fit, obviously, um,
Mhm,
comfortability, function.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
I guess you could throw the material in there, right? Because that's gonna obviously that would probably more so determine
Ah,
that'll more so
but
determine
it depends on where you're at, what you're doing. But yeah.
exactly, right? So, you throw that in there a little bit, but I think those are the most important things. The fit, how does it fit on you? And is it functional and is it comfortable? That to me, that is the marker of a good suit.
So what do you think the average cost dollar-wise? I'm gonna break it down on my side.
I've had some good suits where I've done it the roundabout way, right? Um,
Go.
well, a good suit on a budget, I think you can get for 200 to 250. If you if
Yes.
if you have a good tailor.
Aha. So
Yeah.
that's where I was gonna
Yeah.
go because I actually took that from you
Mhm.
because you're like, bro, they got these suits on whatever for $99. I'm like, bro, that's fucked up. That they're never gonna fit. And you're like, yeah, you ordered a size half size or a size big, and then you go to your tailor and they poop, 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 poop,
Mhm.
and they fit it to your body. And I said, oh, because I was working at the Secret Service. I was burning through
Mhm.
suits, bro. And so I started going on whatever site, whatever it
Whatever,
was.
yeah, I don't remember now.
And I think, I would get suits for 150 bucks, just depending on the sale.
Mhm.
And then I take it to the tailor for another 80
Yep.
bucks. And now I have a custom fitted suit. I would still say, and also we've talked about it on the show, the gusset. You
Ah,
got to have
bro.
that gusset in the crotch so you can move, bro. Otherwise, you're gonna bust the
And that's
crotch
and
out.
that's what
So
good
these are all
that's
little
what
little
yep,
tricks,
yep,
right?
yep,
And as long as the suit fits well, I'm telling you, you could pull any suit off.
yep.
It don't matter if it's $200 or
Don't matter.
twenty five hundred
Mhm.
dollars, whatever. But I will say, currently, because the thing about that is maintenance of a suit. You got to dry clean all the stuff.
Mm.
Again, that we are not sponsored by Scene, SENE. I am a fucking fan
Uh-huh.
because they have my size, but the material that they use is stretchy.
Mhm.
It's form fitted to your body. It runs anywhere from $500 to $600 a suit, depending on the sale.
But
They have all the colors, all the stuff. And then it comes in the box. Snap it out,
mhm.
boom, fits on your body. You don't have to hem the seam, none of that. And it's machine
There
washable.
you go.
Now, I have not tested that theory. It does say it is. I have not done
Uh,
that, but I'm telling you right now, if I still worked for the Secret Service, I would
uh,
because it's stretchy, it's lightweight,
mhm.
and bro, it takes a beating, and I love it.
Yeah. The
So I think you can get a good suit
yes.
for 250.
Yes.
I have found my preferred functional fit
Mhm.
design is about 500. But I was also going to say when I went to Vietnam,
Mhm.
and that's the first time I ever had custom suits.
Mhm.
those were about $300 a piece, but bro, cashmere wool
Mm,
blend with the lining and the
mm,
engraving. Oh, bro,
mm.
this
Yeah, he's
bro,
definitely
I felt like a million
yeah, he's starting to
bucks.
get fancy now. It's okay, we got some,
So whatever the cost to fly to Vietnam for 2, 3 days is,
yeah.
plus the suit,
Yeah.
that it was an amazing experience. I still actually have the wool cashmere suit jacket,
Mm.
that I got from there. It's 10 years, I guess.
Yeah.
Baller, bro, and it's I should have brought it up. It's gray with the pink lining, with the pink, like, polo lining, the pink with the blue stripes,
Mhm.
and, they actually charged me, like, $50 US more because the lady was like, "It's too much material. It's like the size of a comforter."
Gotta be some work to this. She gonna pay for extra for this work. Okay, hey,
Yeah, I need extra. I
okay,
was like, "Alright,
okay,
bro."
okay. Alright. Hey, bro, you need
Hey,
every man needs a few good suits, some good sturdy
yes.
suits. We're
Let me ask
we're
you
not
this,
talking
though.
about tuxedos now. We're
Oh,
not
go ahead.
talking about the fancy shit.
No, no, no.
Tuxedo gonna raise some money. Tuxedo gonna raise some money.
Tuxedo's gonna cost you a grand no matter what.
Tuxedo gonna raise some money for sure.
And my thing is if you're gonna buy a tux, you should buy a
You should
tux.
buy a tux. You should buy I'm not a big
Like
fan of renting tuxes. If you're gonna have one, not a big fan of it because
Learned that lesson the hard way,
because for
bro.
the money,
Yeah.
you might as well just go ahead and,
Yeah,
and
you could have paid double what you rented it from and had a
get a
custom
custom
tux
tuxedo. That's neither here nor there.
that fits your body.
Yeah.
Anywho, you should start off with a black suit and then have a navy blue suit.
Hmm.
I still am a big fan of the charcoal gray suit.
Yep.
And then once you have those 3 suits locked down, kind of go wherever you want.
Oh yeah, the
Um,
Stacey Adams green or pink or something like that. Like blue. Seersucker.
dude, I don't mind
Seersuckers out
it.
the blue.
I don't mind it.
Seersucker, you gotta have one of those. If you're gonna be
Listen,
cultured and stylish.
listen, my grandfather, BJ, I wish you would have met him. He would have loved you, by the way. My grandfather was in the army, and then an insurance salesman
Hmm.
back in the '80s, back in the day, bro, when they wore gold
Uh,
rings and had a gold money clip.
mm.
He had a suit every color of the rainbow. And I'm not, bro, yellow, green, blue, purple, red, all of
That
them.
was the times, baby.
He had a he had an alligator skin belt to match and
Yeah.
alligator skin slip-on
Yeah.
shoes to match.
Yeah.
Every color, bro. And he had them all lined up. I still told him his yellow suit made him look like Dick Tracy. But he didn't give a shit.
Showing our age a little bit. Dick Tracy reference.
Bro, when are they gonna remake some of that, bro? Or The Shadow?
Mm,
Bro, there's some great shit from back in the day.
mm.
They still haven't remade it well anyway.
No, of course not.
Stop remaking Superman and Spider-Man all the
we
fucking
we got
time.
it. We know the story.
We got it.
know.
Or Batman. How many origin Batmans? Ugh, we
We
got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me something original.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, you definitely need. See, I would go black first, then charcoal gray,
Yeah, black is covers
then the
everything.
navy. I think black and gray would be a good contrast. So you can mix and match those. You need to
Eh,
easily with the jacket and shit. Tan. See, I'm not a big tan suit guy.
I've never had a reason to wear
See, I'm
one.
not a big tan suit guy for some reason. I know you need to have it.
Oh, and a blazer.
Oh,
Sorry.
you got to have a blazer.
Let me throw this. Let me back it up. Black suit, then a blue, then well, I think all blazers are blue.
Yeah.
I don't correct me if I'm wrong. If you just do that,
Mhm.
you're good for any interview, any event.
The casual setting, you can dress
Um,
up a casual thing with the blazer on.
you're good to go.
Yep.
Hmm.
Mhm. You gotta know how to dress.
Sorry.
You know how to
I-
dress for the occasion.
Let me tell you something, bro. I did not know this coming out of college. I'm still working on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to think. When did I learn this? Well, actually, I learned this for a while. It's like my uncle taught me this. Uh,
Yeah, bro. I've met your
yeah,
uncle. Dude looks clean.
yeah.
In his suits.
As a young man, I definitely
Come
picked
on.
that up for sure. Uh,
Yeah.
as a deacon, got these all kinds of fucking suits and shit. You know what I mean? So yeah. Um, the shoes matter too, though. See, that's another thing you're gonna run. See, I think you're gonna have to spend more on your shoes than you will your suit. In some instances, if you want,
Okay, what do you think? What do you think shoes
if
should
you want
cost?
comfortable shoes, right?
Go ahead.
See, I would be fine spending about the same on my shoes, 250, 300 for a good comfortable pair. If you're going to wear them a lot and be on your feet, you need the good shoes.
What brand are you buying that's 250?
Oh, you could Cole Haans for sure. Easy.
Ah, okay.
Easy. I mean, they come out, I mean, the generic shit is 200, 185 to 200, 250.
All right, let me throw this out there for all the big boys on
Mhm,
a budget. Working men too.
mhm.
Florshams.
Okay.
Florsheims,
Mhm,
something like that. Whatever. Type that in, you'll find them.
mhm.
You can get a great dress shoe and a great dress boot.
Mm,
150 bucks
there we go. Okay.
and they last. And it's got like the Reebok sole in it.
Okay.
And they're soft. Like when you put them, you're not like breaking in a leather
Ah,
shoe or a leather boot.
nothing worse than
Yeah, bro.
nothing worse than breaking in a leather loafer, bro. Yeah, goddamn.
See, that's my only issue with Cole Haans because I used to rock the shit out of those too. But once you break, it's almost like they got broke in too much, and then you start sliding around. Like I couldn't tie it tight enough to not slide around.
Well, it depends if you got a good sock too. See, these things are
Fair, fair.
yeah.
But Florshams have been my shit. And then
Mhm.
hold on, what's the other one, bro? Hold on, I'm drawing a
Yeah.
blank. Give me a
Get,
second, bro.
get yourself some Stacey Adams, bro.
I have those,
Stacey Adams leather, crocodile leather.
bro. I have them. I like them. Hold on, there's a brand I'm drawing a blank on because I haven't got them yet, but I'm working on it. Allen Edmonds. Those are
Mm,
like four hundred
yeah.
dollars, but they custom to your foot.
Hmm.
They shape them to your foot, so that'll be my next. That'll be my next thing,
Right, you gotta try it. If you want, sometimes if you want certain things, you're gonna have to pay money for. It's just nature of the game. You gotta
bro.
pay
I
money.
paid the same price for those shoes as what I paid for this mic.
Yeah,
See what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Or you get you some Stacey Adams for $89. I mean, be good.
Listen, I don't want to get knocked by Stacey Adams. I do like their products. I do. And I think if you're wearing them on church on Sundays, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
But you wear them motherfuckers every day,
nah.
I'm just gonna say I don't know.
I would not advise it. You got corns and blades and shit on your shit. You'd be fucked up.
I don't know who their foot model is, but it ain't me.
Nah, for sure.
But you know when the leather gets real stretched on the sides, it
Mhm.
starts turning white.
Yeah, so no, no,
That's
no,
what
yeah,
it
no, 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 no,
is.
no. You can't have that. Can't have that. No, no, no.
Bro.
Nah.
Oh shit. All right. Psychology of pain and loss.
Yeah, man. Um,
Is this BJ's no,
no,
this isn't BJ's
yeah, this isn't it. Uh,
okay.
I mean,
That's the
I guess I
next one.
could kind of fall in there, but this is
No,
not
no,
that.
no,
Not
no, no,
that.
no. I think superposition falls
Superposition
into
will
that.
definitely fall into that.
Yeah, yeah.
Psychology of pain and loss is interesting to me. Um, and I've always kind of looked at it. I put it this way. I guess it's more relatable to most people, right? Because not everybody's, lost somebody, as of yet. It could be in their life they haven't lost anybody close and dear to them, right? Or experienced
Mhm.
significant pain from, whatever. But you can take it on on the physical route, right? Especially, to the athletes or somebody who's been through some sort of catastrophic injury or some sort of injury. I think it's interesting because it's hard to get around that memory or that pain. We we learn and shape how we go through life through pain, and it's just kind of interesting. You think it would be the opposite through like pleasure and through joy. No,
Mhm.
pain has a much more significant um, footprint on your life and how you live it than joy or pleasure ever will. Um,
Okay.
in the, in
I don't know if I'm agree with that,
mhm.
but go ahead.
In the sense of right, everything that we shape our boundaries around comes from pain, right? So it's like the first time you stuck your hand on the stove and burnt yourself, you're like, shit. Now, in
Okay.
the back of your mind,
Yeah, yeah. I like
at the
that.
back of your
Yeah.
mind, that boundary is now up of like, damn, is this gonna burn me? Is this gonna hurt me? Right. So then you have those little
Yeah.
micro um, things that come along as what we talked about before. Like, hey, I told this girl, I wanted to fucking jump off a bridge in the third grade, and in the sixth grade she brought it up. You're like, oh, I'll never do that shit again. You know what I mean? So so
Mm,
that will have a significant impact on your life in the sense of now
yeah.
it's going to be difficult for you to overcome that and trust. It's going to be more difficult to trust the next person and trust the next person because you've felt that sting, right? And it's going to shape um, how you're going to go through the rest of your life. And what I'm saying is, it's difficult to operate without the fear of pain in your life, right? So it's like, yeah, we both had knee injuries, right? How many
Yeah.
times it's like, ooh, but before this, you jumping off of shit, you jumping off of boxes, broad jumps, blah blah blah, whatever. And that thing happens. The
Mhm.
next time you start to feel healthy, you're like, oh, I don't know.
Bro, how about the commercials recently
Mhm.
where they're showing, like, basketball players stopping and loading up to jump, and they're showing the legs? I'm like, "Ah."
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I'm sitting on the couch holding my knee going, "Ah."
oh my gosh, this just scared me. Oh my god, Jesus. You know what I mean? So I think it's
I do like what you said, that pain and loss,
Mhm,
I don't set the
mhm,
boundaries. I do think that's good. I guess what I was kind of, reacting
mhm.
to was that it sticks with you or maybe more impactful
Yeah.
than joy,
Mhm,
and pleasure.
mhm.
Eh, every time people say pleasure, they think sex.
Well, yeah,
It should be
yeah,
pleasurable, but that's not all I'm
yeah,
talking about.
exactly.
There's other fucking
Yeah.
things. Moving on.
Mhm,
But what I'm gonna say is I think I've never thought about it this way. I think I agree with you that it sets the boundaries because the joy and the pleasure sets goals. Like you want to achieve that again or whatever,
mhm.
right? So it pushes you to go beyond, whereas the pain or whatever go, ooh,
Don't
not that
not that
way.
way.
You see what
Yep.
I'm saying? So it's almost like you have the goal here,
Mhm.
and then you have like pain and loss guiding you on the sides, like
Mm,
bing, you're kind of like, oh
yeah,
no, 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 no,
don't
so you can attain it.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
I hear you. Mhm. Like I said, it is
First time I ever heard it
yeah,
phrased that
yeah,
way. Come on,
yeah,
bro.
dropping little gems here.
DJ, bro, you're like a fucking Socrates, bro. Great philosopher.
Yeah. It's something that I think I try not to dwell on it too much, right? But I do, sit with my thoughts quite often in that stuff, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, why am I" like, "Yeah, why can't I get over this hump?" Or, like, sometimes it's not as easy as just make your mind up and go. It's like, "Hey, I have to get over, um I have to get over, the fear of being hurt, the fear of failure, the fear of, like I said, the pain and the fear of the sting of shit um, will you know what makes me think about it a lot? It's a daily thing or like a weekly thing, multiple times a week, right? Here I done, I've been taking my peptides, feeling amazing, right? But I also
Uh-huh.
I cannot express this enough how much I hate needles, right? So, like, I hate needles that
Mm.
much, and this is again so for me, it's like, this is how much I want to feel better, is
Yeah.
enduring sticking myself with a needle to take my peptides. That's how like, that's how much I want to get better and feel better, is overcoming that fear every single time, a few times a week, I have to, they're like, in my brain be like, I hate needles, I hate needles, I hate needles," but my, uh my desire, as you said, before, it's like my goal, attaining this goal or desire to get,
Mhm.
not necessarily, you don't necessarily get, make it sound like a fucking drug addict. Oh, I get instant relief from jabbing this needle in my arm, right? It's like, but not, not
Yeah.
like that. But like, I want to feel better that much, and I
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
physically, like, the physiological reaction of like, I don't want this to hurt, overcome this, from I mean, like shit, how many times have we been jabbed with a fucking needle to like drain your knee or, all this other that
Yeah, it
shit is
sucks.
that shit hurts. It's fucking painful. And people are like, you can't just deal with
Yeah.
a needle. It's like let me also say this as a sidebar quick. I don't like fucking pain. I don't like pain.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to do that because it hurts. Well, can you just get over it? I think you're missing the main thing of what I said. I don't like pain. I don't want to be in pain.
Yeah.
So I was getting a tattoo. I was like,
Alright.
hey, you guys got the cream? Oh, you can't handle a tattoo. I was like, it's not that I can't handle it. I don't like pain. What are we arguing about? I don't want the shit to hurt. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You like pain? You're a masochist? You like pain? Interesting. You should probably get that checked out. Should talk to somebody about that. But I do not. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy as fuck. But
Yeah.
I brought that up, and on the side, I was watching this documentary on babies. right? And it was showing how babies, there was like a Nat Geo thing, how babies, the only thing when you were born that babies actually fear are loud noises and heights. That's it. That's the
Yeah.
only thing you're innately like born of like you have like a reaction of like fear to because you haven't built up the boundaries of anything else to know whether it's dangerous or not. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And so it's like when you look at kids, it's like they just live life without fear, bro. They don't know that like, hey, I'm gonna jump off the roof of the house into a fucking parkour roll, and they have no concept of like I could break my arm. This could happen, and all this negative, like all you know what I'm saying, like all the negative things that could come from that, all the ways that could get hurt,
Mhm.
and they're like doesn't exist. Whatever, boom, and I'm like, hmm, and it makes me wonder at what point did that start to change for us, where we're like, because like I said, it greatly shapes the way we go about life in setting those boundaries of things that we do not do or afraid to do because we've been, and I, not again, the physical part, yes, but also emotionally, socially, right? And
Mhm.
it's like, they're like, oh, dance like nobody's watching. Well, what if you do dance like nobody's watching and you get ridiculed? Now, are you less likely to do that again? Is that gonna quell your joy? Is that gonna, it's like now you're not experiencing joy for something. You're putting aside something that you like to do that you enjoy because
Mhm.
of ridicule, because you felt some sting, you felt some judgment, you felt some pain. Like it will shape how you're going about life. I think we sometimes are missing out on the life we could be leading, a life that is fulfilling for us on a personal level, because people are just are
Mhm.
afraid. Are afraid. I think a lot of people are just afraid. And sometimes
Yeah, for
they're
sure.
just afraid to admit that they're afraid.
Let me do this because I googled this
Uh-huh.
just because I like doing that sometimes when we're talking. And I'm gonna read these quotes, but the people who quote or said them are I love it. Grief changes shape, but it never ends. Keanu Reeves,
I can agree with that.
Neo,
Yep.
bro. Uh, you never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice.
That's a movie.
Bob Marley.
Mm. Because I heard that in
Let's go, Bob Marley.
I heard that in the movie.
Bro, I love some of his interviews. He goes, what is rich? Millions of dollars. No, I don't have that kind of
Yeah.
rich. I just the way he responds to shit, bro. No,
No.
no, I don't know what that
Mm-mm.
is. No.
Mm-mm. Not rich to me.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Um, oh yeah. I don't know who this person is. Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls, the most massive characters are seared with scars.
Mhm.
Khalil Gibran? I have no idea who that
Mhm.
is. All right, last one. Because this one, the soul always knows what to do to heal itself. The challenge is to silence the mind.
Yes.
Ooh,
Bro,
bro.
there's nothing worse than being trapped in your own mind, bro.
Ooh, bro.
Mm. Mm.
Very, very true. All right. All right. Respectful time,
Yeah.
bro. I got to eat some food. All right. What do we call this? BJ's philosophical corner,
Philosophical corner.
bro. Real quick side note. My son
Mhm.
tapping into his talents and his platoon mate's talent. I was like, I need you to make an intro, outro for
Mhm.
56. And he's like, bet I'm on it. He goes, I'm friends with a composer
Oh,
and a DJ.
there we go.
I was like, well, let's go,
There
bro.
you go. Lock it out. Lock it in. Shit.
So,
Let's go.
bro, lock that shit in. Let's go.
I told him I also I want a chopped and screwed version as well of the intro.
Meh, meh, meh. I need a BJ's philosophical corner
Yeah.
little,
Hit the music.
dun, 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 dun,
Mhm.
dun, dun. All right, bro. Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on.
go ahead,
Hold on.
go
Hold
ahead,
on.
go
Hold
ahead.
on.
Look it
Hold
up,
on.
look
Hold
it
on.
up, look it up.
Hold up, bro. Because you be dropping these things. Sometimes I swear. I don't. But the thing is, I don't even know how you would Google this shit to find it. So
Just type in superposition, bro. You're gonna be blown away.
All right. So it's one word,
Mhm.
not two, as I just typed in two. Bro, you just type in quantum and then let it fill in. Quantum superposition is a fundamental principle of quantum mechanics where a particle or system, like an electron or a qubit, exists in multiple states simultaneously rather than just one. It is a mathematically weighted combination of all possible outcomes. This superposition persists only until measurement or observation, which forces the system to collapse into a single definitive state.
Mm.
This concept is critical to quantum computing, allowing qubits to perform complex calculations in parallel, and is also used in technology like atomic clocks.
Yes. So essentially, and the easy way to understand this, right?
Don't say yes like you know what the fuck that means,
Of
bro.
course I do.
Go, bro, go.
I'm probably 3 hours deep on YouTube on this shit, right?
All right,
so,
bro.
so imagine this.
Yeah.
Nothing, nothing that everything that that you're not observing does not exist in concrete, right? So, for
Yes.
example, everything that's in the next room is all possibilities of you walking through the door in the next room are existing all at once until you walk through the door
Yes.
and it forces it collapse. It materializes as you. For example, think about it in terms of like a video game, right?
No,
All
I
the
get
things
it.
that are
Yeah.
off screen, right? As you, if you're in like
Mhm.
a 2D world, let's say like Mario, right? So everybody knows Mario, right? As you're walking, along the screen, everything that's off screen, all the possibilities that could happen are existing at once until you get to that screen, and then it collapses into what's actually there. Based off of what you're doing on this screen changes as you go. Is the easiest way I can put it. The concept to me is wild because it's like nothing actually exists until you look at it, right? So philosophically speaking, so that's the quantum mechanics side of it, right? Philosophically, right? Anything that's out of your control should be also out of your mind. Like out of sight, out of mind. Doesn't exist. It's not there.
Mhm.
It's not there until you've observed it, right? So a problem is not a problem until you've almost kind of like created it in a sense. So when I think about it in that terms, I'm like, all these possibilities, and now I'm just focusing on all the. You know what? No, not focusing on that. I'm gonna consciously observe and think about the ones that I do want to happen, and those are the ones that will shape shape itself, if you will.
Do you believe that's something that can happen?
I can't knock it, right?
Why?
Because I can't disprove it. I can't disprove it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I hear
So
you
it's like what is it, Schrodinger's cat? Right? It's alive and dead at the same time until you open the box
until you
and look at it, and then
figure it
then
out.
you see
Mhm.
what's up. So you look at it like that, you're like,
Mm.
yeah, I guess so.
Well, let's make it a more practical
Hmm.
conversation than that, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Uh, I do like the thought, mental health
Hmm.
purposes, right? Because people get very one track when they start looking at the future or looking at the reality around them.
Hmm.
It's very bleak. It's very dismal. Um, and that can be very destructive, right?
Hmm.
So the concept or the thought process of saying that's one reality, not all, and allowing your mind to see the other possibilities of what could otherwise be a bleak situation,
Hmm.
I think that can be beneficial,
Yeah,
right?
100%, 1,000%.
I like that. I like that thought.
Yeah, nothing's like you said, nothing's set in stone. It's not. You look at it, if you take it to sports, be like, oh, this team's better than this team. Play the fucking game, and then we'll see. That's why you play the game.
Uh, Fighters too, UFC, right? How many times do we have to see that? Oh, he's gonna
What's
knock
the
his
sound?
ass out. Nope.
Nope. Is it likely?
Dude, not to hate on the guy, because I think he's a great wrestler, but Ben Askren, right?
Hmm.
They were all, everybody was on his
Yeah.
nuts because he's a Olympic or 3-time national, whatever. And listen, the dude could probably tie me up like in the fucking knot,
Yep.
right? I get it. I get the concept of what I'm about to say.
Hmm.
So I'm not shitting on the guy, but they were on his fucking nuts going up against Masvidal.
Yep.
About 15 seconds knocked
Not
out.
even.
I don't, yeah, whatever
Not
the fuck
even.
it was.
It's
Was it
not
10? I
even.
don't even
It was
fucking
less than
know.
10 seconds. It was literally like it's like
He was like,
like
bah!
5 seconds. Done.
Hold on,
Knee to the dome. Boom.
whatever it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Whatever it
Yeah.
was. See what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. That's why you gotta play the game. You gotta go through it.
Yeah.
You gotta.
It might go the
It
way
might
you
go the way you
think,
think,
but it might
but it
not.
might not. There's always a
Yeah.
chance it might not.
I was telling my daughter this last year, or one of her last soccer games. She was like, "Oh, we're playing this team. They're so much better than us." All this stuff like that. And then it was raining and muddy. I said, "She was like, oh, this is gonna be awful." I was like, "Why? This is great." She goes, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Now the playing field is even.
Mhm.
Everybody hates playing in the fucking rain. It's slippery for everyone.
Yep.
So the people that were super fast and ball handlers and all this other shit like that, all that goes out the window. Now it's just who has the
Yep.
grit." That's
Yeah.
why I used to love playing football in the mud, because even a team that was should
Mhm.
beat you.
Might not.
It's an even playing field now,
Yeah, we
baby.
all gotta deal with this. Like, the
You got to run,
cold is another
and
one.
you ain't doing all these side to side. It's just football.
I'm telling you, that cold is another one, boy.
Yeah, you ain't
Ooh,
4-1 in
ooh,
19-degree
ooh,
weather or mud.
ooh,
You're
boy.
not fast,
You
bro.
get you get you get your bell rung in fucking 30-degree weather.
Bro.
Hey, like, what's Marshawn Lynch? He's like, sometimes you just gotta run through a motherfucker face over and over and over and over and over and over and over
Yeah,
again.
bro.
Everybody not gonna be able to take that. They're not.
No.
They're not. I was like,
Nope.
one more. I saw this actually yesterday. It was Gary Sheffield. He was talking about his father. Um, he's a lesson his father taught him. He's like every man got some quit in him, right? He's like
Mhm.
determination is how much. Uh, he's like, are you that 1% that don't have no quit in them, right? He's like, can you outlast the next man when when shit gets hard, it gets rough. How much not that we said this before. What you can endure is not necessarily a badge of honor, right? But in
Mhm.
certain moments, how much can you take? How much can you endure? How much can you push through before? Because the guy next to you might quit, and that'll be opportunity. He might give up. He might say, "I can't take it no more," and then that's how you prevail. So, yeah,
Yeah, when we said how much can you endure, it was more like
yeah,
how much you just taking shit to
that's it.
take
Yeah,
shit. That's
yeah,
different. Enduring with the possibility of either winning uh, a competition
hmm
or a position or a deal or whatever,
hmm
that kind of shit. No,
yeah. Hard to hey,
that's when you got to step up,
hard to
baby.
beat somebody that won't give
That's
up.
when you like talk about heart.
Yeah, that's it. It's hard to beat somebody that don't quit.
Yeah,
You know?
no, for sure. I think that's it,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
I don't
it.
know. I don't want to. I don't want to ruin that. That was
No,
good.
I think we got everything today.
We
All
did.
the check marks.
Let's go, bro.
Hey,
All right, brother. Don't go
yeah.
nowhere. Appreciate you.
Love you, brother.